Hey everybody, welcome back to the She's Unoffendable channel with me, Rebecca. So today I want to talk to you about the top 5 things you're probably doing that are holding you back. And a lot of them we just naturally kind of do because of the way that we were raised. And so this is all about changing that energy. Like you got to start doing things different and thinking differently in order to have different results. So the number one thing that people do, and it's not actually the number one, actually saved the best and most powerful or biggest reason that people aren't manifesting for the very last one. So we're going to start with number one. Number one is that you don't know it. You go, what do you mean? I don't know it, Rebecca. I know what I want. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute, but there are 3 stages to this. There is hope, there's belief, and then there's knowing. So when you're in hope, you're trying to get there. You're like, man, I know that there can be something better. When you're in belief, you're like, okay, well, I believe that this can happen for me. And when you're in knowing, you are walking towards something with so much intention and determination that it will become yours. Okay, so that's number one. You don't know it. You haven't gotten past belief. You're just hanging out and, well, I know it can happen, but you're not like actually connecting and doing what needs to be done. A lot of people think that law of attraction, I think one of the reasons that people kind of poo-poo it sometimes is because they think that it's just, think the Lambo, get the Lambo. That's not how law of attraction works. It creates the opportunity. We have to create the movement towards it. So anyway, that's another video and I'll talk about that some other time. Number 2, this is huge, y'all. People take score way too soon. So you ask for something, you set an intention, maybe you say, this is what I want, and you start moving towards it. And if it hasn't manifested in 2 seconds or 2 weeks, you're like, well, it's not working. Something's broken. My manifesting isn't working. And it's like, no, that's not what it is. You have to allow some divine timing, and you have to realize that you can only manifest to the extent of your belief or your knowing, right? So you have to give yourself a break. You have to get up to speed with the thing that you want. If you start taking score too soon, you actually slow down that momentum, that vital momentum that you need in order to create, right? Everything, the culmination of a creation, which is where you and the opportunity meet, that culmination is because of the momentum that you've gained. And when that momentum is at the end, that is when the manifestation happens, when the opportunity and you collide. So being able to see it is what we want to be able to do. But every time you take score too soon, or you pay attention and talk about why it's not here yet, you're slowing down that momentum. Number 3 is one that I hear everybody do. And even I have to stop myself sometimes. Number 3 is about justifying. So if you're justifying why you're not where you want to be yet, why you haven't gotten the thing that you said you were going to get yet, why it hasn't turned out for you yet, then you are actually keeping yourself very stuck. So the more that you notice what is, and you talk about why you are where you are, you actually keep those manifestations and the things that you want away from you. You hold them away from you whenever you are justifying and talking about where you currently are. So you got to start doing that. Number 4, trying to be a control freak. Okay, do you know how many people, when they decide that they want something, then want to go on to figure out how? So one of 2 things happen when you start to think about how. Either one, it stresses you out and you decide you can't have the thing. Like, I don't know how I would get there. Like, I don't know how to be a Hollywood star. I can't do that. So there's the how is not there. And realize how is just perfectly correlated to the amount of trust that you have. So the amount of trust in the universe is going to be mirrored in your ability to let go of the how. Okay. So you have to be able to let go of the how in order to let the universe do what the universe does. Like, you can't hold on and try to listen. You're on the first floor. You're not way up here on the penthouse, right? This is where the universe is. You're down here looking. So imagine being in New York City. Have you been to New York? I have. Absolutely love New York. So imagine being in New York City, bunch of concrete all around you. You can't see what's going on the next street. Well, the universe can. If they're in the penthouse, the universe can see it from way up here. It can see, hey, you need to go this way, that way, and this way, and that way. If you're in the first floor, you can't see that. So letting the universe do what the universe does is letting go of the how and just allowing the process, trusting the process. Okay, number 5 is the biggest reason that people are not manifesting. And it is because you aren't clear on your vision. And I say that to people. I ask people all the time. I was like, do you know what you want? Like, valid question. Do you know what you want? And they say yes. And I'm pretty sure you're going, Rebecca, that is not the biggest thing holding me back. Like, I know what I want, right? Well, I want you to do a little bit of digging, because what I have found is when I talk to people, I'm like, yo, what do you really want? And they say, well, okay, for instance, I was talking to a lady the other day. I said, listen, what do you really want? Do you know what you want? She's like, yeah, I know what I want. Okay, cool. What is it? She was like, well, I want to not have to live paycheck to paycheck because it stresses me out. You hear that and you go, okay, I get wanting that, but she is wanting it from a negative perspective. She's telling me actually what she doesn't want. She's not telling me what she wants. What she wants is to be abundant and have plenty of money there between paychecks to do the things she needs to do, to have her bills paid. There's 1,000 things that she wants, but not having to live paycheck to paycheck is what she doesn't want. And so that is a really, really good thing to start looking at, because when you are focused on what you don't want, remember, you're getting what is the makeup of your energy. And if your energy is made up of you focusing on the things that you don't want, you are just creating like freaking a what's the Groundhog Day. You're creating Groundhog Day. You're creating the same thing over and over and you don't even realize it. So pay attention and take some time to get clear on your vision and also how that vision is going to feel, because y'all, it doesn't matter. See, we get really attached to what it is we want. We don't realize the universe knows like 5 million trillion billion different ways to mix that up and bring you exactly what you want. But we get caught up on one vision and we don't see that manifesting, and we're like, dang it, I want this one thing. But you just have to realize there are so many different ways the things that you want can manifest. If you can release a little bit, let go of the how, and even let go of the what, and start really tuning into how do you want to feel? How does that, like, when you get to the point where you want to feel good more than anything else, and I'm talking about like really, really good, when you want to feel good more than anything else and you start to really get tuned into that feeling, you're going to start to really kind of see your power outside of you. So those are my top 5 for why you aren't manifesting the things that you really want. So I'll see you guys next week.